I just finished two that I kind of planned a little bit more what I wanted to do, but this one I kind of just want to explore more of an image that I'd just had in mind. It's more of just like a figure in a field. Could be a man or a woman, long jacket, and just exploring how using the gouache will work in this style of piece that I'm trying to do, which will be kind of foggy and blurry, and I'm not sure that the gouache is going to be very good for that. So again, just testing out what it can do. I don't know what it can do in this case, so time to experiment. For some reason, I'm always working more. I do a lot more work in the winter. I seem to find the time, the ability to spend doing it, and I always end up creating works that are reflective of kind of the maybe more somber grays and drearier weather. But for me, I guess I'm kind of like I'm always looking to be happy or joyful or appreciative of what I have. That's a major influence in the way I think and I cope. And so I think in a way it's also reflective of just like leaning into what we do have, what is beautiful. I love Jane Austen stories, and I love how some of the movie adaptations really show kind of the windsweptness of winter in England, and that's very grey skied too. So, I could try to romanticize, I guess, what is, so that I can love it. It's a time for candles and reading books, and if you go outside, it's kind of blustery and drizzly, and that can be a little bit depressing. So I make my mind up that I'm going to find the beauty in it. And I do live in a beautiful area of BC, and despite the grey winters, when I get out and go for walks and see what's around me, I do feel 100% better. So when I'm not actually going out, I guess creating it puts me in a mindset that's helpful. I've never been one for beach vacations, resorts. I kind of like my home life to be where I'm happiest. So I think that's also a reason why I paint a lot of things that I see around me, my children, the nature. I haven't had time to paint all the things I love, but one thing I really love is home. Like I used to be a home stager. I love home, and I love making homes feel comfortable and loved. And to paint some interiors is definitely on my list. I have done some in the past. I really enjoyed it. So I think the thing is, I'm not a detail person, and the same reason I used to think I didn't paint landscapes because I didn't have the patience for them, this might be the same reason I haven't done a ton of interiors. But I started to realize it doesn't have to be an accurate representation. It's this loose quality that I've found to really enjoy in my work. Can give an impression of what home or a landscape is. So I will be experimenting a little bit more with homes. I think that's going to be in my work. We'll see. Since this is completely out of my imagination, it's more or less referenced on things I've already kind of put in my mind. So by being observant when I'm out, paying attention to the things I like to see in images, I basically have a whole bank of things to paint whenever I have time to sit down. I'm always surprised when I'm working on something that's not got a photographic reference, and then I might post it, or I might just see the photograph of it in my camera roll, and I'm shocked how similar the colors will actually be to, similar shots I've taken out of doors. And, they're not planned that way because I'm not working from a photograph, but I do think that our surroundings imprint on us, even if we're not aware of it, and those colors and how they make us feel, they sit somewhere inside there, and I seem to instinctively tap into them. So I'm really impressed with how loose I was able to keep this gouache. I realized when I was trying to use the gouache in a more typical way for it, the more solid approach with it, it wasn't working very well for me with these watercolor brushes. But this way that I'm trying to kind of like have it very blended and foggy is working just fine. I'm also leaving this one, like I've been recently also putting more loose edges in my work, because I think I admire it when somebody can, paint very skillfully and make something look realistic, but I also like the markings of abstract work and more free work. And I think combining the two, if I can get the feeling of being outdoors from like a landscape, of the feeling of a photograph in the sense of someone relating to it, that's really cool. But if I can make it obvious that it's actually a painting, I'm even happier, because ultimately nobody needs my photographs. What they want is a piece of art, and that makes a difference to me somehow, that it remain that way. I like how this is kind of blending, like from dark to light. I don't know what I want to do with this, because it's a very cool thing that just happened and I didn't plan for it to. So I don't know, I should leave it. Maybe what if I just do the leg area? Leave. Didn't when I first started my business part of selling art, I didn't leave a lot of time to just work on art, to learn things, and I think it's a very important part of developing your art and your skill, is to give yourself time to try things and discover new things, because I totally didn't intend that, and I love it. I love what it did. Well, that was a very quick piece, but I'm pretty happy with it as it is, so thanks for watching.